morning to you ladies and gents if you're coming online. Monday morning, hope it's a good day for you. Right, we're going to start with our feet facing forward, hip width apart. We're going to relax our shoulders, relax your arms. We're going to do our roll down. So we're going to take a deep breath in and put your chin on your chest, aim your nose at your belly button and then slowly roll down. As you breathe out, just relax your arms, relax your shoulders. Feel the stretch in your hamstrings. Take a breath in to prepare and let's slowly come up, straightening up your back, one vertebra at a time. So you're up nice and tall, shoulders back and down. Let's take a breath in, nod your chin to your chest and let's roll down. Relaxing your shoulders, relaxing your arms, hold it here and let's slowly come up. Using your ab strength, up nice and tall, shoulders back and down. We're going to do two more. Let's breathe in, nod your chin to your chest. Holding it here, feeling that stretch in your hamstrings, opening up your spine. Breathe in and slowly come up. And our last one, let's breathe in, nod your chin to your chest and let's roll down. Now with this one, we're going to hold it down. Just hang like a floppy rag doll. If the wind should blow, it'll take your arms with. Holding it here. Let's breathe in and little pulses push down. 4 more. 4, 3, 2. Holding it here. Breathe in. Pull in your tummy. Let's slowly come up. Straightening up your back. Shoulders down. And head in a natural position. Let's take our arms up towards the ceiling, warming up our shoulders. Take a breath in and down. So your arms are nice and straight, taking them right up and down. Let's breathe in and out. And our last one. Right, I want us to do 8 calf raises. So lifting your heels off the mat, we're going to come up with your arms, breathing in. And exhale slowly down. Let's breathe in. Your abs are tight, glutes are tight, and down. Let's take a deep breath in and out. You want to get those heels as high up as you can, engaging those glutes, your abs, and down. 4 more. And our last one, we're going to lift up and hold our lift, keeping those abs tight, glutes tight. Lift those heels up as much as you can. Hold it here. Take a deep breath in and let's exhale. And arms down and heels down. We're going to change our position of our feet. So heels together, toes apart. You should feel that your glutes are activated. You're up nice and tall, spine lengthened, and here we go. Let's take arms up to the ceiling and down. Breathe in as we lift and down. We're going to keep those arms nice and straight. And our last arm. Now with the next 8, we're going to lift our arms and lift your heels off the floor into a calf raise, keeping those glutes nice and tight and down. Breathing in as we lift and out through your mouth as we come down. You're doing 4 more. And this is our last one, the next one. Let's lift up and hold our lift. So lifting up, holding it here. And our last one with a breath in and exhale and down. Placing our feet back facing forward, interlacing your fingers behind your neck. We're going to do our cervical nod. Elbows stay wide and open. Let's breathe in and just nod your chin to your chest, looking at the floor, looking at your toes. And now let's look up at the ceiling. Put your chin to your chest. Up to the ceiling. And breathe out as you look down at the floor. And exhale as you look up at the ceiling for the last time. And back to a natural neck position, looking forward, over to the one side. We're working from the waist here. Breathe in and out. So there's no hip movement here. You're just stretching from the waist and back. We're going to do 4 more. 4. 2 more. And our last one. Right, let's go over to the one side and we're going to hold that position. So hold that stretch, both heels off, firmly on the floor, weight distributed between both you, stretching from your waist, and let's go over. 4 more. 4, 3, 2, hold it here, back up, and over to the other side, feel that stretch. Right, let's breathe in little pulses. 4 more. 4, 3, 2, hold it here, breathe in, up nice and tall, and relax those shoulders and those arms. Right, we're going to do a little arm routine today. So I want us to have our elbows in our waist and palms facing each other. So from here, we're going to do 8 of each and then we're going to put it together. So what I'd like you to do is just lift your arms up. So elbows and hands are up shoulder height. So if you have to look at me here, arms up, shoulder height. We're ready. 8 of these, we breathe in as we lift. So breathe in and down. Nice slow control. We're going to just get our shoulders warm. Two more. And our last one, with this next one, we're going to lift up and push forward. So all we're going to do now is just push forward. So pushing forward and back. Forward to go. Keep those abs nice and tight. 2 more, pushing those shoulder blades slightly together. Last one. With the next one, we're holding this position. We're now lifting our arms up. So it's just a movement from the elbows, from the shoulders. Actually, no movement in the elbows. Just moving it up. 4 to go. 3, 2, and 1. We're holding this position, holding it here. Let's push our elbows together. Push your elbows together and open. 4 to go. 4, 3, how are those arms feeling? 2, shoulders feeling. Our last one, we're now going to take from this position, we're now going to lift our arms right up. You want to see your fingertips. I'm just bending my knees so you can see my hands. You want to see your fingertips so you're not taking your hands behind your head, slightly forward. 4 to go. 3, 2, and down. Excellent. And let's take a break. We're going to take your elbows back into your waist to start. So we're going to put that all together now. So we're not going to do 8 of each. We're going to do singles in that little routine. Right, are we ready? So elbows in your waist, palms facing each other, and on breath we move. So breath in. Lift up. And all the way down. Are we ready? So let's breathe in. In. Let's breathe in. Elbows together. Arms up. And elbows in your waist. Let's do that again. Let's breathe in. Elbows in your waist. And let's lift. And let's breathe in. Hold. And return. Let's breathe in. Sorry, you're supposed to push forward. Arms up, elbows together. Lift up to the ceiling. And elbows in your waist. We're going to do that 4 more times. Here we go. Let's breathe in. Let's breathe in. Elbows into your waist. 3 more. Let's lift up. Elbows in your waist. We're going to do it twice more. Let's lift up. Hold. Push forward and back. Let's lift up and hold. Elbows together. Lift those arms right up. And elbows in your waist. Last time. Here we go. Let's breathe in. And hold it here. Elbows together. Let's lift up. And arms down. Excellent. Your shoulders should be warm. Your arms should be warm. Let's warm up our quads, our legs, and into our hamstrings today. So we're going to go into balance. So I want us to do knee lift. So let's breathe in. And we're going to lift one leg up. So knee in line with hip. You're going to give me a breath in to hold and then down. So the balance comes on the hold. That's why we hold the position. So other leg, we're alternating. And exhale and lift. Holding it here. Breath in and down. Hold it. Exhale to lift. Holding it here. Arms wherever you need them. If you need them on your hips, holding onto something, that's also fine. Breath in. Holding it here. Can you feel those quads getting a little bit warmer? Hip flexors. Hold it here. And our last one. Hold it here. And down. Right, we're going to hold the one side. Let's breathe out to lift and hold that position. So you're up nice and tall. Flex your foot and let's do little pulses and lift. 4 more. 4, 3, 2. Let's take our heel down. Let's breathe in and lift. So we're not touching our floor, the heel on the floor. Try and balance it. Keep up nice and tall. Spine lengthened. 4 to go. 3, 2. And this is our last one. Let's hold it there. Breath in and down. Other side. Let's breathe in and exhale and lift. Hold that knee lift. Up nice and tall. And little pulses. 4 more. 4, 3, 2. Let's take our heel down. Let's breathe in. 4 to go. 3, 2, and this is our last one. Down. Hold that lift. Breath in and down we go. Excellent. So quad should be warm. Hip flexors warm. We're now going to go into hamstrings. So my feet are facing forward. You're going to take one leg behind. Lean slightly forward. And you're going to lift. So a little bit more intense here. So for 4, we're going to hold. Movement on breath, hold and pulse. So lean slightly forward, abs tight. Let's breathe in and lift that leg. Hold it there, breathe in and down. Both legs are locked and straight. Let's breathe in. Try not bend your front leg. Lean slightly forward, breathe in and down. 2 more slow ones. Holding it here and down. Hold it for a breath. Right, that's our 4. Move slow. Let's do movement on breath. So let's breathe in and lift. Tap to breathe in. You should be feeling it in your lower back, in your glutes, in your hamstrings. You're going to go for 4 more. And in your planted leg, your stabilizer. 2 more. And our last one, we're going to lift up and hold. Flex your foot, heel up to the ceiling. You're leaning slightly forward. Your front leg, your planted leg, stabilizer is locked and little pulses lift. Straight leg from the hip. 4 more. 4, hold it here, breath in, and down we go. I'm sure that warmed up a little bit more. Your legs, right, let's do the other side. Right, so first 4 are slow. Let's breathe in and lift. Hold that lift, breathe in and down. Hold it here, breathe in. We're going to do 2 more. Hold it here. And our last one. Holding it here. Right, now movement on breath. Let's breathe in and lift. It's controlled movements. You don't want to be going fast. Flowing movements. No jerky movements. 4 to go. We're going to do 2 more. And our last one, let's lift up and hold that lift. Hold it here, you can flex that foot. Your front leg is locked and little pulses. 4 more, 4, 3, 2, hold it here, whoopsie, breath in and down we go. Excellent. How are those legs feeling? So quads, hamstrings, lower back and glutes. We are going to put that together just now and do both at the same time. But for now, I want us to work calves. So we warmed up our calves in the beginning. This is a balancing exercise. So you might need to have something to hold on to. If you're in your bedroom, have your chair or your bed, or if you're in a lounge, have a chair if you're not so confident in your balance. So we're going to lift up onto both toes, so lifting both our heels. We're going to inhale and exhale. On our breath in, you're going to lift one leg up, down and come down. So we're going to lift while we're holding our calves raised, or sorry, our heels raised in the calf lift. You're going to lift one foot off. Even if it's just a little lift and down, that's also good. If you can flex your knee and lift like that, that's perfect. So it's easier, or to get your balance, let's do one side first and then let's move over to the other side. We're going to do 8. Right, are we good to go? Let's breathe in, exhale, lift. Let's breathe in. Same side. And down. Breathe in to lift. And down. Let's breathe in. We're going to do 4 more. Let's breathe in. And down. Do you feel like a ballerina? And down. 2 more. Breathe in and down. And our last one. Breathing in and down. Excellent. Let's do the other leg. Let's focus on that leg. You'll probably find one side is better than the other. Well, I do. Let's breathe in. Let's lift and down. Inhale. Abs tight, glutes tight. Concentrate. And down. Let's breathe in. Are you keeping those heels right up? And down. 4 to go. We've got 2 more. Last one. Breathing in and down. Excellent. How are those calves feeling? Let's go back to our quads and our hamstrings, and then we're going to come back to this exercise. Right, so a little bit slower. So we're going to inhale, exhale to lift. Take that leg behind and lift, tap into your knee lift. Take that leg behind, give me a lift in the hamstring, so let's breathe in, let's breathe in and out. Lift and down. We've got 4 to go. Let's lift up into that knee lift Tap behind, lift into your hamstring. Let's breathe in, take that leg behind. So you're doing a lot of balancing on your planted leg, your stabilizer. Take that leg back, lean forward into a knee lift. And our last one. And excellent. Let's go over to the other side. You should be feeling it in your lower back, glutes and hamstrings, and in those quads. Right, let's start with the knee lift. Let's breathe in. Two to go. And our last one. And excellent. Right, so for the next one with our calf raises, you're going to lift up into your calf raise. You're going to hold your calf raise, and on the one side, you're going to give me 4 lifts while we're still holding. So we did singles just now. You're not going to come up and down in between or down to the floor and lift again. You're going to hold those calves, hold that stabilizer with your calf lift, calf raise, heel lift, and then give me 4 bends or 4 lifting of that one leg off the floor. Are we ready? Let's breathe in, exhale and lift. Hold it up here, and here we go. Let's breathe in. Keep it up. Let's breathe in. And our last one. Hold it here and down. Let's go back and let's do the other leg. Let's breathe in, exhale to lift. And here we go. Let's breathe in. And our last one. And down we go. Right, can you give me one more each side? How are you doing? How's your balance coming? Right, let's do it again. Let's breathe in, exhale, lift. Right, here we go. On inhale. Abs tight. Try and focus on something on the floor or in front of you. Hold it here. And are you feeling your calves burning yet? Let's breathe in, other leg. Right, here we go. On inhale. 2 more. And our last one. And down. Let's stretch our calves right now. So what I'd like you to do is dig one heel into the floor and try and grab hold of your toes. If you can't, you still working with your foot flexed, heel into the floor. And let's come down. Can you feel that calf stretch? Let's go over to the other side. Right, we nearly finished standing. We're going to do lunges today. Last week we did some squats. So I'd like a nice wide step. Your hips are facing forward. Your back foot is on your toes. So the heel is lifted. Right, let's go into some lunges. You don't want your front knee to go over your toes. Right, let's do 8. Here we go. Let's breathe in. If you can't do lunges, you're more than welcome to do squats. You can keep going with those squats. You're just going to do little bends and squeeze your glutes as you come up. Or you can modify your lunge and not do a very deep lunge. Let's go down and hold that lunge up nice and tall. Right, let's breathe in little pulses. 8, 7, 4 more. 4, 3, 2. Hold it here. Breath in. Straighten your legs. And let's change over. Right, both feet facing forward. Back heel is off the mat. And here we go for 8. Let's breathe in. Let's breathe in. How are you doing? How's those legs feeling? 4, 3, 2, and let's go down and hold. Bend that back knee, your front one will follow, knees not over your toes, and little pulses. 4 more. 4, 3, 2. Hold it here, breath in. Straighten your legs and change over. Right, today's modification with our lunge is we're going to do a lunge, a lift, and a leg lift behind. So we're once again working those hamstrings, lower back, and glutes. So if you can just watch me here, we're going to inhale, breathing in, and tap. So we're putting it together, a lunge with that leg lift. Right, so we're staying with the one side, and here we go. Let's breathe in, and down. I'm going a little bit too fast. I am doing movement on breath. You're more than welcome to slow it down so that you do it correctly. If you can't do a deep lunge, you just do what you can. And our last one, lunge, tap, and lift. Right, let's change legs. Right, are we good to go? And here we go. Let's breathe in. Lunge back, tap, lift, and down. 4 to go. Two more. And our last one, lunge, tap, lift, and tap. Excellent. We're done standing. Let's move onto the floor. I'd like us to do the spine stretch forward. So we're seated, facing forward. Have a sip of water. Right. Your legs should be nice and warm. My cat's at the door. I just want to let him in. Right. Come, sweetheart. Right. Up nice and tall. Our legs are mat width apart and our feet are flexed. If you know that your hamstrings are tight, remember you can bend your knees, eliminate those hamstrings, but get a beautiful spine stretch forward. So up nice and tall, your arms are shoulder height, as though someone's pulling you right up. Let's breathe in, nod your chin to your chest, taking your fingertips to the floor. When you get there, lengthen forward and slowly straighten up your back. Let's breathe in, nod your chin to your chest, curving your spine, pulling in your abs as you lengthen forward and slowly straighten up. In, nod your chin, fingertips to the floor, open up your spine, stretch forward with your abs tight and straighten up your back. 2 more, chin out chest, fingertips to the floor, lengthen forward and slowly straighten up. Our last one, we're going to hold it there. So nod your chin to your chest, keep those feet flexed, curve your spine, abs pulled in, and hold it here. Feel that stretch in your hamstrings. Feel your spine and shoulders opening up and little pulses push forward. 4 more. 4, 3, 2. Holding it here, breath in and straighten up your back. Excellent. We're now going to change our position. We're going to do the half roll back. We're not going to go all the way back, so you don't have to sit at the end of your mat. But I do want you to have your feet and your knees hip width apart, facing forward. When you roll halfway back, you don't want to open up your knees. You want to keep your knees in line with your hips. Right, arms up, shoulder height. Your back is straight. Let's breathe in. Nod your chin to your chest and curve down. Pull in your tummy. Hold it here. Breathe in and let's straighten up. Nod your chin to your chest, curving your spine. Holding it here for a breath in. And straighten up your back. Sit right on your sit bones. and exhale. Holding it here and lift. You're going to do 2 more. Curve your spine. Holding it here. And our last one, let's hold that position. Pull in your hands as you hold it halfway. Feet are flat on the floor. Knees are hip width apart. Take a breath in and pulses forward. 4 more. 4, 3, 2. Hold. Take a breath in and straighten up your back. And relax. Excellent. We're going to lie on our back in a crook position. So knees are up. Feet are facing forward. Hip width apart. And for now, we're just going to do a normal chest lift. So interlacing your fingers behind your head. Let's breathe in. As always, our first 4, we hold the position and down. Inhale. And exhale to lift. Hold it here and down. 2 more. Keep those elbows open. Lift your shoulders up off the floor and down. Let's breathe in. Hold it here. And down. Now movement on breath. Inhale. Exhale, lift. Let's breathe in. Four to go. 2 more. And this is our last one. We're going to lift up and hold our lift. Let's breathe in and little pulses. 4 more. 4, 3, 2. Hold that lift. Breathe in and down. Right, with the next one, every time we lift up, we're going to come up into a 1 leg lift. So we're going to inhale in tabletop. Holding it here. Breathe in and a big boy and down. Inhale. Exhale. Alternating. Hold it here and down. Good boy. And exhale. Lift. Hold it here and down. Our last one. Yeah. Right, now movement on breath, but you want to go a little bit slower. So you've got time and control to get those knees up in a tabletop position, legs up in tabletop. You're not bringing your knee into your chest. You keep it in line with your hip. Lifting up into your chest lifts. 4 to go. 2 more. And our last one. Right, we're going to hold the 1 leg up in tabletop. Hold it here. And little pulses. 4 more. 4, 3, 2. Hold your chest lift and down. Other side. Holding it here. Now let's breathe in little pulses. 4 more. 4, 3, 2. Hold it here. Breathe in. Head down and leg down. Right, we're going to hold our chest lift for the next one and just move our legs. So we're going to inhale and exhale to lift. Hold that chest lift. Right, let's breathe in. So all we're doing is moving the legs. You're holding your chest lift. 4 to go. 4, 3, and I'm up, boy. Come. 2, good boy. Here he is. Hold it here, and down we go. He's a good boy. Right. We're now going to go up into a tabletop position. So we're going to do our chest lift in our tabletop position. So keep those knees in line with your hips. And here we go. Let's breathe in and exhale to lift. Hold your chest lift. Breathe in and down. Inhale. Exhale, lift. We're doing our 4 slow. 2 more. Hold it here. If you can't do tabletop, you're more than welcome to keep your crook position, feet both on the floor. Right, movement on breath. Nice control. Exhale, lift. Breathe in. 4 to go. 2 more. And our last one, let's lift up and hold your chest lift. As you have nice deep breaths in and little pulses. 4 more. 4, it here, breath in, head down and legs down. Take a break. Right, we're going to hold our chest lift and then we're going to alternate putting one foot on the floor at a time. If it's too difficult, please revert to starting with your feet on the floor and doing the same thing. Right, so if you can, let's go up into tabletop. Let's breathe in and lift. Hold it here. Are you ready? And lift. So we're moving from the hip and lifting. We're not closing the gap here. We move from the hip and lift. 4 to go. 4, 3, 2, and our last one. Hold it here, head down and legs down. Right, we're going to alternate with abs and pelvic tilts. So I'd like us to go into a pelvic tilt. I just want to move my mat so that you can see me a little bit better with the pelvic tilt. Right. So just check with your feet and your knees are hip width apart, relaxing your arms at your side, neck and shoulders are relaxed. We're going to tilt our pelvis, so we're going to breathe in, tilt, squeeze your glutes, and lift up into a shoulder bridge. Shoulder bridge, you want your knees, your hips, and your shoulders to be in alignment. Nice straight line, so we're not dropping your hips. You want to lift the hips up, squeezing those glutes, and then we slowly imprint your spine back onto the mat. So you don't want to hit your spine, the flat spine, onto the mat. Curved spine. So let's breathe in, tilt your pelvis, squeeze your glutes, and lift up. Relaxing your neck and shoulders, hold it here, and slowly come down. So we breathe in to prepare. We exhale as we tilt, start to lift your spine off the mat. Hold your shoulder bridge and slowly come down. And our last one, tilt your pelvis, squeeze your glutes, and we're going to hold our shoulder bridge. So in order to activate our hamstrings and glutes a little bit more, we're going to lower the back but lift up the glutes a little bit more. Make sure that your feet and your knees are hip width apart, your shoulders and neck are relaxed. We're going to do little pulses and 4 more, 4, 3, 2, hold those squeezes and slowly come down. Right, we're going to move on with abs. I'd like us to have both feet up in tabletop. We're going to do a reverse curl. So from here, from a tabletop position, you're going to breathe in, tilt your pelvis so that your back is flat on the mat, and you're going to lift your glutes off the mat. Right, are we ready? Let's breathe in, tilt, and lift. It's not a big movement, small, and a little lift. Let's breathe in, exhale, keeping those knees and feet glued. 4 to go. If it's too difficult, you can come up into a chest lift. Just 2 to go. And our last one. And excellent, feet on the floor. Right, we're going to go up into third position where both our legs are up towards the ceiling. If it's too difficult, please alternate as we come up into a chest lift with both our legs up. You'll just come up with one leg at a time. Don't do both, have both. You're going to alternate. When we pulse, you pulse and hold. Just do 4 counts, not 8, because we're only going to do 8. Right, so you'll do 4 on the one leg, 4 on the other leg. Right, so let's take our legs up. Right, let's breathe in and lift up into our chest lift. Hold your chest lift, breathe in and down. Inhale, exhale to lift. Holding it here. So our first 4 are slow, controlled, and down, and our last one. Hold it here. Right, movement on breath. Inhale, exhale, lift. Keep your chin on your chest when you come up. Keep those elbows open. Support your neck, but don't bring your elbows together, because then you're straining your neck. And our last one, let's lift up and hold our lift. Hold it here. Right, let's breathe in little pulses. 4 more, 4, 3, 2, hold it here, breath in, head down, and legs down. Excellent. Back to our pelvic tilts. Relaxing your arms at your side. Check that your feet and your knees are hip width apart. Right, with this pelvic tilt, we're going to hold our pelvic tilts and do knee lifts, alternating knee lifts. Right, so like the tabletop position, so let's breathe in, tilt our pelvis, squeeze, and let's lift up into our shoulder bridge. Right, let's bring one leg up into a tabletop and down. Keep those hips up, don't drop them down. Nice slow control. Keep your neck relaxed, shoulders relaxed, arms floppy at your side. Don't hang onto your mat for any help. We're going to do 2 more. And our last one. Hold it here, breath in and down we come. 1 vertebra at a time. Excellent. We're going to take our legs up into third position. We're going to inhale and exhale to lift while we're holding. 1 tap and lift. So on inhale, are we ready? Let's breathe in and lift. Here we go. Let's breathe in, inhale. 4 to go. 4, 3, 2, and our last one. Hold it here, head down and legs down. Excellent. Our next shoulder bridge, we're going to lift one leg up at a time. So check that your feet and your knees are hip width apart. Right, let's breathe in, tilt your pelvis, squeeze your glutes, and let's come up. Right, let's lift one leg up at a time. Don't drop those hips and glutes. Right, keep your shoulder bridge, keep that alignment. Let's breathe in and out. Nice slow control, don't rush it. You don't want to lower your hips or glutes. You don't want your body moving. Four to go. 2 more. And our last one. Hold it there and let's slowly come down. Excellent. Right, we're going to do our reverse curls, but with our legs up in the air. So this is a little bit more challenging because we've got a longer lever here. So from here we're going to inhale, tilt your pelvis and lift your glutes off the mat. If you feel a little bit more comfortable doing it, in a tabletop position, inhale, tilt and lift. You're more than welcome to keep that position rather than having both legs straight up in the air. Right, 8 of these. Right, relaxing your shoulders and your arms. Let's breathe in all from the abs. Tilt your pelvis and lift. Four to go. 2 more. And our last one. And bring your knees into your chest. Excellent. Alright, we're going to go back into our shoulder bridge. But this time our feet and our knees are glued together. We're going to lift up into our pelvic tilt. So we're going to inhale, tilt your pelvis, squeeze your glutes and lift up. Right, we are really isolating those glutes. We're then going to open our knees, close our knees and slowly come down. If you find that having your feet and your knees together is too much pressure on your knees, you're more than welcome to take it that you're hip width apart. That's no problem at all. Right, so hands at your side, shoulders and neck relaxed. Let's breathe in, tilt your pelvis, squeeze your glutes and hold that pelvic tilt, shoulder bridge. Right, let's open up our knees. Let's breathe in, don't drop your glutes. We're going to do 4 more. You start to feel your knees, open your legs up wide. and hold those knees open. Lift up your hips and glutes. Hold it here. Relax your neck and shoulders. Let's breathe in and open your knees. 4 more. 4, 3, 2. Hold it here. Breathe in. Close your knees. Keep those hips and glutes up. And slowly come down. And bring your knees into your chest. Well done, guys. Right, I'd like to take us into the roll over. We've been practicing the reverse curls. If you can't roll over and get your legs parallel to your body, then please just practice your reverse curls, either in your tabletop position or in our third position, legs up towards the ceiling. So we're going to start. You need to make sure that you're at the end of your mat, that you've got room behind you. And we're going to start in our third position. So maybe I should just show it to you first, and then you can decide if you are going to attempt it or if you'd rather just practice your reverse curls. So arms rested at your side, head and neck and shoulders are relaxed. So from here we're going to inhale using your ab strength, tilt, and over we go. We want our legs parallel to the floor. We're then going to touch the floor behind us, tap your toes, and you're going to keep your quads close to your chest. Keep your back curved. You don't want to hit the floor with a flat back. So you're going to keep those quads, legs close to your chest as you slowly control and get your legs back up into third position. What you don't want to be doing is using momentum to thrust and get you over. You want to start from here, start at third position and finish in third position. Right, our backs are warm when we did our hamstrings, when we were standing. Our abs are warm, so here we go. Let's relax our arms at our side, head relaxed. Let's breathe in, do your pelvic tilt. Reverse curl. Keep your legs parallel to your body. First the floor, tap your toes to the floor. Hold that position. Keep your quads close to your chest. Curve your spine, and let's slowly come back. So as I said, if you can't do this position, can't do this exercise, you're either in a tabletop position and you're doing your reverse curls here, feet and knees together, or in your third position and practicing. So the key is to do a pelvic tilt and lift your glutes right up. Right, let's start now with our legs slightly open and do the roll back. Right, roll over should I say. Let's breathe in. These are treats there on the table for us. Let's breathe in, tilt your pelvis and over. Keep your legs parallel to the floor. Flex your feet, tap your toes to the floor, and now try and keep those quads as close to your chest as you can so that your spine is curved as much as possible. You control one vertebra touches the mat at a time and stop where you started. Let's try that again with our legs open. Follow my cue. Let's breathe in, tilt, and lift. Let's go right over. While you're here, while you're parallel to the floor, put your feet together, tap the floor, and slowly fall back. Right, follow my cue. Bring me up slightly. Right, let's start with our feet together. And then let's breathe in, tilt your pelvis, and over. Right, while our legs are parallel to the floor, let's open our legs, hip width apart, tap your toes to the floor, and let's slowly come back. Well done. That is our advanced exercise for the day. You can hug your knees to your chest. Excellent. And a big boy. Where's mommy? Right. We're going to go on to our tummies. We're going to finish off with our planks. And then we're going to stretch. Right, so you'll do the plank. If you can't do the full hand plank, please do a plank that you are comfortable doing. If you can't do it with your wrists, you're more than welcome to do an elbow plank. But for 1 minute, we're going to go into a hand plank. Right. I'll be good to go. Let's start with our hands and knees. On our hands and knees, let's take one leg back, and then let's take the other leg back. Make sure that your wrists are in line with your shoulders, and off we go for 1 minute. Once again, we want that correct alignment, shoulders, glutes, and heels. Try and push your heels back. Nice deep breaths in. We've passed 30 seconds. How are you guys feeling? 20 seconds to go. 10 seconds. 5 seconds. And we've done it. You can bend your knees and push yourself back into your child's pose. Well done. Right, keeping your child's pose while we're here in this correct arm alignment. You're just going to change one hand and place it on top of the other hand. Stretching into those shoulders. Placing that hand back to its correct alignment and put the other hand on top. Putting your hands, they're back, shoulder width apart. Let's come up into your cat stretch. Into your cow stretch. Back into your cat stretch. Make sure that your toes are tucked in, back into cow. Right, with the next cat stretch, shoot your heels right back and try and push your forehead to your knees. Right, let's walk forward into a plank. Hold that position. Let's open our feet slightly wider. We're going to push right back into a squat. So let's push right back. Get your heels back onto the floor and into a squat. Holding your squat position. Hands at your ankles, straighten your legs only. Try and push your head through your legs. Over to the one knee. Let's go over to the other knee. That knee, we're going to bend and push over to the side into a side lunge and flex your opposite toes. Let's go back to center. Bend your other knee, pushing back into a side lunge and flex your opposite foot. Back into your squat. Straighten up your legs. Chin on your chest, and let's slowly roll up. Bring those legs closer together. Let's take our hands behind, stretching into your chest. Chin on your chest, let's stretch into your upper back. Take your arms up to the ceiling, let's lean back. Let's reach right up, stretch. And while we're here, onto our tippy toes and reach right up, try and touch the ceiling. Take a deep breath in, open your arms, heels down. We're going to just take those arms back up again, interlace your fingers, and let's reach over to the one side. Back up to center, over to the other side. Deep breath in, arms down. Let's roll our shoulders back for 3, 2, and 1. Change direction. 3, 2, and 1. Lift your shoulders up to your ears and slowly down. 2 more. Let's lift up. And our last one. Let's look down at the floor. Let's look up at the ceiling. Let's look behind one shoulder. Back to center and over to the other shoulder. We're going to breathe in for 4. So 4 long breaths. So let's breathe in. And breathe it all out. 3 breaths now. Fill your lungs with air. And breathe it all out. Now 2 breaths. Fill those lungs. Slower, longer. And breathe it all out. And our last breath is nice and long. So let's take a deep breath in. Breathe it all out. Feet together, hands together, and give yourself a hand. Well done, guys. Till next time, have an awesome day, awesome week ahead. Be blessed. Cheers.